Hi everyone, it's A Ticket to Christ, and we are in the last of the series for Lean Not on Your Own Understanding. We're looking at Ecclesiastes 3 from verse 1 through 8. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, so this passage really is an excellent one for leaning not on your own understanding, because it really is talking about different seasons of our life, or the context of things in life, and really having an awareness and an understanding of the seasons in your life or the context in your life. And it is broken down very clearly. For example, when you're a little child, that is one season and time in your life. You're learning. But when you become an adult, that's another season. And depending on the different ages in your adult life, those are different seasons. So you have a time when you're single, you're looking to get married, a time when you're married, that's a different season, a time when your children are grown, different season, time when you're an older person, that's a different season. And sometimes people try to apply the same model to their life through all seasons. So they're applying the same model, single as married, young married as older married as, as an older, when you're older, looking back and trying to do the same things. And missing sometimes what God has for you right in front of you. And so it's important, in leaning on your own understanding, to really seek and examine where you are in life. If you're at a season and time in your life, for example, where your children are very young, they need you. They need you home, and they need you focused as a mother, really helping them and growing them up in fear and admonition of the Lord. But when your children are grown up, you need to know and be able to let go the reins of control over their lives, because they have to find their own life, and you've already taught them. And yes, be there to counsel and guide, but not to control, because then you start to become a hindrance, and then also you're not able to receive what's for your life at that stage. Because your life isn't over until on planet Earth, until you're dead. As long as you wake up and you're alive, God has something for you to do. You're serving a purpose. Sometimes, even if you're not mobile, you're not able to get up and go, maybe you're bedridden, or you have some kind of a disability sight or whatever, you can't drive yourself around. God has a purpose for you. What can you do? You can pray for people. You can have encouraging verses or scriptures or word for anybody who calls or visits you. Just really setting your heart and mind to be grateful. You can be praising, worshiping, and praying right where you are, and accomplishing so much more than people who are running up and down causing mischief. So you never know. Another thing is understanding what situation you're in life. You might be thinking, a time to kill. Well, I suppose if you're a soldier at war, that would be that passage, because this is King Solomon speaking. And these kingdoms often went to war. And so if there's a time in that territory whereby there's a time whereby they're at war, I guess that would apply. There's a time when everyone will die. There's a time when things will change in your life. There's a time for newness. There's a time for change. There's a time for growth. And we see all of that reflected in even nature that surrounds us. We have the 4 seasons. If you live in certain parts of the world, there are 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So you have a time where it's, hot, and a time where it's very cold. And the same thing in our lives. There are times when we are going through challenges. And if you're at a challenging time in your life, you need to shift gears and look to God for how to approach those times so that you can overcome and have the victory. Similarly, if you're in a time of your life where you have a lot of successes, you're on the hilltops, you're doing well, still looking to God so that you can use your position to help others, but also maximize what's going on in your life so that God will be glorified. Making the most of every opportunity and taking nothing for granted. Not taking the people in your family for granted. You woke up this morning, thank God for life. Thank God for your family. Take time to tell them you love them, to give them a hug, to say good morning, how are you doing? Don't take it for granted. Reach out to family members, to friends, to people who you know, and not take for granted that they know that you love them or care for them. So making the most of the life that you have today and looking at your life and understanding the context of it, where you are in life, and what you have to deal with. And that can take a little bit of evaluation, to kind of just think through what your situation is. But it definitely is worth it. Well, that's it, beloved, from me. I hope you're having an amazing day, or that you will have an amazing day. God loves you so very much. Have a great one. Take care.